Hello everyone, JulioToyReviews here, and this is a review of the Uchuu Sentai Kyuranger Seiza Blaster. So the Seiza Blaster is the transformation device that's used by the first 9 Kyurangers this year, as well as Koguma Sky Blue. It is a mix of a blaster and a gauntlet, think the Gabari Changer from Kyuranger. And the Kyurangers also use Q-Tamas, which are these glows based off of different constellations. They use them to transform, summon Zords, attack, and stuff like that, similar to the Jidenshi from Kyuranger. So the Seiza Blaster over here comes with the Seiza Blaster itself and the Shishi Q-Tama. So let's get on with this review. So before we get on with the Seiza Blaster, let's take a quick look at the Shishi Q-Tama over here. Now, if you guys don't know, the Shishi Q-Tama is based off of the Leo constellation, and it's mainly used by our Red Ranger, Shishi Red. So if I just turn off the lights here a bit, actually no, I should leave them on, but I'm gonna have to turn them off for later. I'm pretty sure you can see it like this, it's not coming out that well from my camera, but you can see the Leo face over here. And you can see, number one, it's kind of hard to see on the camera because of the fact that this is all glossy and whatnot. And if you go on the back, now this is the part where I turn off the lights. Because the fact that the batteries on my Q-Reno are dead, we're gonna have to do it like this. So, I don't know if you could be able to see it that well. Let me see if you can see it a bit, but there's like this line face that's just charging at you in the back part. Now normally in Q-Reno, the Shishi Q-Tama would have Shishi Red sitting in the back part, but because of the fact that this is the Shishi Q-Tama that comes in the Seiza Blaster, it has a face of a lion. Just like how the other Q-Tamas, such as Usagi Q-Tama, have the animal or constellation that they represent in the back, instead of having like a cockpit. But that is just our quick look at the Shishi Q-Tama. So now let's get on with the Seiza Blaster itself. So over here is the Seiza Blaster, and as I said earlier, it's a mix of a blaster and a gauntlet, kinda like the Gabari Changer. And let's take a look at the physical aspects of it first before we get into the sounds. So you can see the orange tips over here because Bandai of America is planning. Over here you can see a star shape because Kyuranger is all about space and stuff. You can see a consistent color scheme of black, silver, red, and blue. Over here, this is where the LEDs will go. You can see some blue over here. You can see the trigger over here, as again, this is supposed to be a blaster as well. But you have another trigger down here because of the fact that you're meant to wear this. And you could flip up and flip down the trigger. But we're gonna leave it flipped up for now. And over here is where you're going to put the Q-Tama. Now we just open up the brace. And we put it in. Hold up, I put it in kind of tight on accident. Let me loosen it up a bit. And this is actually a very nice fit for adult collectors who buy a bunch of Power Ranger stuff, because of the fact that the handle over here isn't so big. Now, I'll be honest, this actually kind of squeezes my hand right around here because I have big hands, but apart from that, the Seiza Blaster fits very nicely. And now you go down here and you turn it on. And let me see if I could get the LED at the same time. So it'll make that really nice startup jingle, which was actually my text tone for a while. And it'll show a red LED. And the LEDs come in a bunch of different colors, just like stuff like the mock driver. It'll come in red, orange, yellow, it depends. So you're gonna grab your Shishi Q-Tama over here, but first you're gonna slide it like in the actual show. And then you just put it over here. Though I don't know if I should turn off the lights because of the LED over here. But you know what? I'll try that. Let's see how that works. So it says Shishi Q-Tama and it shows the LED in red. And now if you push it forward, you can be able to morph. Oh, wait a minute. So it'll make that jingle, and you'll pull down the trigger over here, and start change. So it'll make another jingle and then it'll say the constellation of the Kyutama that you put in, either Shishi, Okami, Sasori, whichever. And now I think it's a good time to turn on the lights back since you've probably seen the LEDs. But there are actually more LEDs for the different modes. Now, if you guys read the full name of the Seiza Blaster, it's the Joystick Controller Seiza Blaster or something like that, because of the fact that you can move the Kyutama like a joystick. So moving it forward would be transformation, and now moving it back would be the attack. And now you can see a yellow LED, and red because this is Shishi. And if you move it back twice, you get the All-Star Crash. And now if you move it left, you're going to get Seiza Go, which is where you summon the mechs. And you can see the blue. So it'll summon the Shishi Voyager. And if you actually hold down here in the trigger, it'll say Seiza Control, and you could be able to control the Voyager. So you move it in any direction and it'll make the same sound. And you can press on the trigger to discontinue it. And something that I should mention before we get onto Seiza docking. If you hold down here, you'll get this little standby sound, which I guess is supposed to be how they communicate. Because if you know in the show, their Seiza Blaster rings and then they talk through there. And then I'm guessing that if you press again, it's hanging up. So not many people are sure of what that's supposed to be, but I figured it's probably the whole thing where like they talk to each other. And now you could do the Seiza docking. There, it was Seiza docking. And this is where you dock the mech. And now you have Form Q Reno. And just like Seiza Control, you could be able to move the Kyutama in different ways. And it'll make the same sound any direction you go. And just like Seiza Control, you can discontinue it. And the main function that I forgot to show off at the beginning of the review is the blast sounds. So if you press over here, you're going to get a large blast. And you can see the LEDs here. And if you press on this trigger, you'll get a small blast. And that is all for the Seiza Blaster. Now I'm not going to go over the other Kyutamas since I'm going to make that its own video. Because of the fact that I don't have all the Kyutamas and putting it onto this one video would just make it a lot longer. But that is all I have to say for the Seiza Blaster for now. So overall, the Seiza Blaster is a really nice transformation device, and I would recommend it if you're a fan of Kyuranger or a fan of Super Sentai transformation devices in general. The Seiza Blaster actually fits very comfortably on adult hands, which makes it even more worth it to get it. Not only that, but the sounds on this thing are amazing, and the fact that you can move the Kyutama like a joystick really makes it unique. And if you have the rest of the Kyutamas, or if you have the rest of the mecha, you could be able to unlock more sounds on the Seiza Blaster. But that's for another video that I'll make later on. But overall, the Seiza Blaster is really nice, and I would definitely recommend it. So those were my thoughts on the Kyuranger Seiza Blaster. So what did you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, I'm JulioToyReviews, and I'm signing off. Thanks for watching, everyone.